Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are right now. It's JC Matters with Roy, your favorite YouTube channel where you get to learn, relearn, and unlearn from different aspects of life. And right now, we have been on marriage matters for some months now. It's been inspiring, it's been interesting, and so, guys, wherever you're right now, as long as you can see me clearly, you can hear me audibly well, don't hesitate to share out this video with your friends, your colleagues, and possibly your siblings out there who you know is going to benefit greatly from today's discussion. And as you know, I am not the only one in the house today. I have this wonderful and amazing couple right here with me. And I would like you to join me in welcoming no other couple than Dr. and Dr. Mrs. Bolaji. Thank you very much, Sir and Ma, for always joining us on the platform and sharing with us from your wealth of knowledge. It's been a great ride with you, Sir and Ma. All right, so guys, today's discussion, in fact, I would like our couple, our guest today to briefly introduce themselves before I go into the discussion right away. In fact, I'm so excited already. Oh my God, it's going to be an interesting session today. You don't want to miss any bit of it. All right, Sai and Ma, kindly introduce yourself briefly and tell us any other thing you would like us to know about you, especially for the sake of people who will be watching you newly.
Yeah. Thank you very much, our host. We appreciate this opportunity once again. My name is Fola, and we have Bume here. Both of us are computer scientists, and we are both growing in the Lord and trusting God for more grace. It's a privilege and it's an opportunity to be here, and we are so grateful for that opportunity. Happy to be here with you all. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, sir, for that brief introduction. And like I said, guys, today is going to be a practical discussion, and I'm sure you don't want to miss any bit of it. So, get a cup of coffee, or no, maybe you don't like coffee, whatever your favorite drink is. Just sit down, relax, and enjoy the discussion with us. And possibly you might be having a question or a contribution to make. Go ahead and click the link in the comment section, and we're going to have you live with us. So, as you can see from the flyer, I'll actually like to apologize for coming late today. We are really very sorry, but don't worry, we'll make up for the time. All right, so guys, from the flyer, we have a wonderful topic of discussion before us today, which is friends and associates making the right choice, especially in marriage. We've seen instances where couples come together, and the moment they begin their marital journey, they start sidelining their friends, their old friends, and people are like, oh, what is this marriage of a thing like? Doesn't mean that after you've gotten married, you just forget your old friends, those friends that have been there with you, that you share knowledge, you share opportunities together, you motivate, you inspire one another, and then just immediately after marriage, just leave all of them. Or possibly it might be the other way around. It might be that this set of friends are the ones actually scattering your marriage, giving advices that are contrary to your goals, that are contrary to your beliefs, that are contrary uh to your marriage values. So it's in two ways. But for the sake of today's discussion, we actually be considering how you can make the right choice of friends and associates while you are married. And guys, seriously, when you have the right circle of friends, it can be a one that can be a coverage for you, or it can be another one that can be a cage for you. So, guys, join us in the discussion as we dive in right away. All right, so over to our guest. I think we'll have Brofola first or Sister Bomi first.
Yeah.
Okay, we'd like to
Okay.
hear from you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for opening up the topic, and it's an interesting topic. Your friend and associates. especially in marriage. The Bible says that walk with the wise and you'll be wise. In other words, walk with the foolish and you'll be foolish.
Foolish.
So the kind of associates we keep, the kind of association we keep, and the kind of people that are flocking around us will determine how we think, will determine how we make decisions, and we also determine how far we can go in life. Friends can ruin you, and friends can make you. There's a saying that friends can either mar or make.
I'll make you.
Another way I want us to see it is my own belief that I've read somewhere else is if I'm relating with somebody, the person is either casting shadow on my life or is either shining a light. And that's the way I see myself too. If I'm relating with you, I'm either casting shadow, causing darkness, or shining a light, bringing sunshine to your life. So that is how it is in marriage too. If you are having friends or associates in marriage, they are either adding positively to your marriage or they are going to reduce significantly. And that's it. We are talking about friends and associates. Associates may be families, people that you decide to keep good relationship with, that you share your information with, that you talk to, people that you can run to. Associates may be neighbors. It depends on how you classify them in your relationship. But as a thumb of rule, one of those things that we have agreed to do is my friend must be her friend, and my wife's friend should be my friend. Even if I have not seen some of them before, maybe some friends at work, then I will have heard about them. We'll have had discussions about them. Number one thing is you don't have a secret friendship with anybody. And if your spouse or your significant other does not want a relationship with somebody, then you need to find a way to stylishly withdraw and reduce your contact with that person. That will help the marriage to grow. So let me yield to my wife before we continue.
Thank you for the introduction. And you said a lot of things, but I don't want us to mix too many things together. I want us to approach them from a point of view of like segments so that there'll be clarity in the conversation. Um, you touched on, I actually want to touch on something that Sister Rhoda said at the beginning, which is people cutting off from their friends when they get married. Because that is also very common, especially for people who got married earlier than their friends. And for example, like you are all in college or graduating, the year of graduation, one of your friends got married, some other people are not getting married until like 5 years later or stuff like that. And of course, it's very clear the priorities might be different. For example, after getting married, you have a child, your friend is still single. Like, you can't have the time that she has. You can't do maybe some things that she can do. Like, she can decide that, oh, let's travel to Lagos, or let's go and do something, or
Now
somebody
let's go
has
and
a,
watch a movie.
or let's go and watch movie. And for you, you have to consider, oh, my baby is ill today, or
My
I
husband
don't,
has to be
yeah, my
late.
husband has like he's going to be coming home late. So definitely there will be difference in priorities after you get married, especially if most of your friends are not married. But that does not necessarily mean that you should cut off from your friends, because you see, um old friends are usually true friends because you've known yourself for a while. Let me even give this example. Like in marriage, let's assume that let me look for an example of an habit. Maybe some things trigger me and I get angry easily over them. For my husband that I've only known for like 2 or 3 years before getting married, it might be strange to him. But let him talk to one of my old secondary school friends. He'll be like, oh, that's Bumi. Like, oh, no, just tell her this and she will settle. Like, because they've known me for long, like they've related with me, they've seen me grow from whatever. So most of those time, those people have stayed with us through a lot of things, and usually they are true friends. Your priorities might change, but they know you when you are nothing. They know you when you don't believe in yourself. They know you when you are still praying for your spouse. Like those are gaps they are filled in time past. So after marriage is not the time to look at them and be like, I don't have time to converse with you and stuff like that. Of course, priorities might be different, but it is important to still make effort to remain in relationship with good friends. Don't cut your friends off. Some of them might not have it the way you're having it in life. Maybe in terms of career, that career is not progressing as it is for you. I think that's also a time for you to be there for your friends as well, because you have known one another for a while. And like my husband said, as you're getting into a relationship with your spouse, you must also import your previous relationships as well. And through that, you're able to fine tune those that will continue to be your friends. Because you can't say that you have an old friend that your husband does not even know, does not talk to, and you want to keep that relationship. I can't go and visit a male friend's family and say that I want to just go and visit. Like it doesn't work like that in a relationship, because that person must also be my husband's friend. But it's important for us to um, keep our friends in marriage, whether you like it or not. Circumstances of life will change. Those are people you can talk to about your kids. Probably you are raising kids together, maybe 2 3 years difference. What is happening to you that you are seeing as so huge? Like, oh, see how my son spoke to me. Like, is it because of teenagehood or something? One of your friends who probably have like 2 or 3 years older child will be the one to be like, oh, is it that? Just do this or treat them like this, or this was how I handled my own kid or stuff like that. So we'll still continue to need our relationships whether we like it or not. As much as it is not that those friends are having bad influence on us, which is part of the right choice we're talking about, we should continue to at least try to maintain our relationships. We might not talk every day, but when you talk in 6 months, it's still keeping relationship rather than just treating people as if they don't exist again because you have moved on in marriage. So I just wanted to touch on that. Then I also want to say that it's a popular saying that you are like an aggregate of the five people that you associate with, like people who are close to you. And that is why it matters who we remain close with, because whether we like it or not, we are picking one value, or it has influence on the way we reason, the way we handle things and stuff like that. So I think from the time of being in courtship and stuff like that too, we should know our values we actually show forth in the kinds of people that we relate with. So if I have prayer partners that we pray together, we do things together, and I'm in a relationship with my husband to be, and he's beginning to say, why do you pray so much? Stop those relationship and stuff like that. Then it's a pointer that we do not agree. So we cannot like continue to forge on in that relationship, because if the values that I have are different than his, no matter how much I think is going to change, is going to have influence on me, whether I like it or not. If I go into that relationship continuing to think that those values don't matter, then eventually those values will not matter at all. And that is also going to influence the way our future is going to play out as well too. So there are lots of things we can actually talk about with friends and associates, but maybe as we continue to talk, we just keep bringing things up.
Wow.
Why are
Thank
you
you.
saying?
Thank you very much, Sai, for that's wonderful. For those wonderful contributions. Okay, so now for instances where the husband doesn't want the wife to continue with a circle of friends that she has always related with, how are there ways by which the both of them can actually reconcile such that there will be no there will be no conflicts in the home, and there will still be like these friends has been friends to the wife, and they grow together, they learn together, and now the husband is coming saying, I just thought to cut off. So are there ways by which the wife wants to submit to the husband, at the same time she doesn't want conflicts? in the home. And like the topic we are considering, making the right choices. I think I would like us to look into this as well. So, or maybe Profula will have something to say on this.
Okay. So that's a very sensitive part, and that is very, very important. Now, one thing that we should be aware of is if we are not careful, there could be selfishness in marriage, which is not right. If your spouse has somebody or has many friends, those are the type of friends that keeps her happy or that gets him excited, even over the years before you got married. It may not be that easy to say, go and cut off from them. I don't want them anymore. But it may be good to evaluate what is this person contributing to your life? What is this person contributing to our upbringing, to our family, to our growth? After evaluation, you'll be able to say, okay, let's reduce the influence that this kind of person may have on us. Because you may be within a circle of friends, but definitely everybody is growing and everybody is getting dispersed. It's not as if you are all in the same location like it used to be when you were not married. So when everybody is getting married, everybody will be having things or the other to deal with, one thing or the other to deal with. So it may be good for husband and wife to sit down. Okay, if you have been relating with this person 60% of time before, can we reduce it to 20%? Can we reduce it to 30%? If this person is the kind that will come to your family and begin to say, your husband did not buy this for you, your husband did not buy that for you, your husband is not even doing anything, your husband, are you sure you have married that, right? If it's that person, then you need to quickly reduce that kind of contact to maybe 5% of the time I used to. So those are the things. There has to be evaluation. How am I feeling around this person? Am I feeling negative? So if my wife has a friend that is so lovely, that's so wonderful, and she's trying to introduce wrong idea into my family, I will tell her how I'm feeling, and I will let her know. And then both of us will agree that if you're having this kind of wrong feeling about this person, then we need to do something about it. So it still comes with agreement. It's not as if my so if you are talking about, okay, you have 6 friends or 5 friends, and your husband is coming that all of them, I don't want you to have anything to do with them, then that is coming from a wrong perception. Something must have happened or something is going on. Maybe the husband wants to just control your life, or your wife wants to cut you off all the people that could help you or that could advise you or people that could excite your life, so that at the end of the day, you have nobody. So it's also very, very important to have mutual understanding on how we deal with our friends, on who to let go, who to get closer with, who to listen to more, who you have to open the door of your family to, who you can expose your kids to, and things like that. Those are very, very important.
Mm.
So just on the note that you finished on, which is separation, I remember like my husband's mentor likes to tell us a story using um Uriah, right? Uriah in the Bible, King David's
Uriah,
yeah,
Uriah the Hittite.
one of David's soldiers, and King David took his wife. Now, when David wanted to kill him, when he lured him to come home to sleep with his wife and he didn't do it, the next thing he did was to communicate with, I think, Joab, like, finish this guy for me. And the method that Joab used was to separate him. He left him to fight alone.
Mm.
The thing is, as long as if Uriah had some other soldiers with him, he was a warrior. He wouldn't die like that. But what jo-
David told Joab that
Joab to
they should
withdraw
withdraw.
men from him. Because when no matter how strong you are, when you are alone, um, likelihood of being defeated after a while is certain because your strength will definitely fail you. We are not made to fight all battles alone, and that is why we need other people. So when your spouse is beginning to like withdraw you from people, or when you notice that the stage that you are now is your spouse just wants it to be you and I alone. Some people even go to the extent of families, like no communication with family, things like that. That's a very dangerous point. And you, as the other half, should intercede on behalf of that person. It might be the devil setting you up even for failure, because not everybody in the world will be bad. So, the life of me, my husband and I, my wife and I, we alone, my children and I alone, is a very dangerous place to be, even for your kids, not just for you. It is the devil setting up that family for a time that might destroy the family. And we have seen several stories, especially in the Western country, where people live the me and my alone life. Eventually, you see spouses killing their partners or abusing them, riding on them cheaply because they could not even open up to their family members because they've been separated from them. So that's very important. But I also want to know that sometimes not everybody who got married into husband and wife relationship actually have like the same background. We'll see some brothers end up with some sisters that you wonder how did they even meet, because where that sister is coming from, the sister is
Jabu.
Jaro. Like even, even all this, like if you see some of our friends, the language they communicate with, you know that
Mm-mm.
this is a this is a very different terrain. But only God knows how they met and they became husband and wives, or circumstances of life just pushed them together, or the sister just newly become a child of God, and all the old friends cannot just like be in that relationship and the sister will grow. So there are circumstances like that that some relationships genuinely need to be cut off if the marriage is going to thrive with the new values that you have now. And another example that I also want to give, like it might also be like a situation where there needs to be separation because you notice something. So, for example, um, I like to say that habits are contagious, right? Like whether you like it or not, habits are contagious. So if I make a new friend and my new friend is a complainer, people who don't see anything positive, for everything you say, they have the negative answer to it. For every options you give, they have five ways that it will just not work. Now, whether you like it or not, your spouse might also be picking that habit. And you might have to get to a point that you are like, well, you need to cut off relationship with this person. So there are situations where legitimately um cutting off a relationship is positive. But I will say that for every spouse that finds themselves in that situation, communication is key to how that relationship cutoff is going to be received. Now, if my husband is coming to me and it's like, well, that's your friend, you need to stop talking to him or to her, no phone call, nothing, and stuff like that, and your spouse cannot see a reason for it, it might take a while. One might feel abused or injured to be like, well, this person has been good to me. This is my good friend. Why should I not talk to them? And before you know it, there will be problem in the relationship. But if you get yourself to a space that you're able to reason together and just like identify reasons why that cutoff is necessary, then it might work. Now, it doesn't mean that every time it's going to be like the most palatable thing to do. Maybe you don't even really see the reason why your spouse is calling your attention to stop a relationship with someone. But um, in the spirit of like love and understanding that is brought into the communication, then over time, um, or you might just find a reason to say, well, I'm going to stop this relationship, or I'm going to reduce this relationship. Then you probably later in future understand the reason why you have to do that. So there are negative relationships to actually cut sometimes in a relationship, but we have to do that with good communication and sometimes getting a third party help as well. Like talking to someone might also help in some situations.
Wow. 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 So many things to pick from these wonderful contributions. Thank you so much, Brofola and Sister Bumi. So now, going back to the main discussion now that we've realized possible ways, possible reasons why couples act the way they act, especially when it comes to external relationships like friends outside marriage. Now, what are the ways by which, let's talk about ways by which couples, spouses can actually make the right choices that can help progress, that can help move their marriage forward. You know, when talking about friends, talking about associates, sometimes it might be they might need friends that will help them in achieving their financial goals. They might need friends that can actually help them in their career growth. They might need friends that can even help them in achieving their spiritual goals. So, how can couples, spouses get, let's talk about this, how they can actually make the right choices such that homes that are really, really suffering right now, homes that are really, really lagging behind right now, if they are able to get these right, if they are able to get connected, then I'm very sure this will go a long way in help them achieving their dreams of a happy home.
Yeah. So that's a very good point, and that's very, very important. Uh, Friendship should be purpose driven. What do you want to gain from this kind of friendship? Is it going to help your family in terms of finances, in terms of profession, in terms of career, in terms of spirituality? That is very, very important. Among the circle of my friends, I have those who are mentor to me when it comes to professional decisions. Sometimes, even if I have job offers, there are friends I share with that I have this job offers, I have this other job offer. Can you help me look into it? You know me, and you know where I will function well. You have been in this domain before. And that advice, such advice from such people have helped me out. Sometimes when I need financial discipline, I know the kind of people I talk to, the kind of people I relate with. So one of those things that will help is there's this adage that you know in Yoruba that "Entoba ma fun la shotoran la koko ma wo," that somebody that wants to give you a cloth, you need to check what he is wearing so that you not be taking a cloth from somebody, and at the end of the day the cloth you cannot wear it because it's not at your own level of standard, that kind of thing. So there are some people that you have seen that over years they have been consistent. Maybe spiritually they have been consistent, they have been growing. Why don't you run after those people and feel, oh, you have been growing, let me grow along with you. There are some people that in terms of career they have been consistent, they have been doing fine, they have been having opportunities. Why can't you relate with them and say, okay, I need to learn from you? There are some people, or maybe one significant person, that if I want to write a certification, sometimes I need to talk to that I want to write this professional certification. What do you see to it? Because I know that he is a specialist in that domain. He has had wider exposure. There are some people that if I want to grow my marriage, I know that these people have had wonderful marriage. They have raised wonderful children. Why don't you seek those people out, maybe in your church or in your environment, and begin to relate with those people? When you are relating with the mindset of getting something out, then that will help you to know the right person to go after. You go after people, even in the career world, there is a place of networking that they arrange different kind of conferences so that you can network. You can network with people that can eventually mentor you. In academia, for example, there are different kind of programs they arrange that way for mid careers and young graduates that are joining academia, so that you can relate with people and learn their method. And if there are some methods along the line that you feel like this is injurious to my family, then you ignore those ones. So it's always very important in your church, in your work, maybe in your neighborhood also, you can see people. Some could be elderly, some could be younger than you are, some could be age mates. Try to relate with them. Try to stage a visit and go there, have fun together, and have some gisting together. Then you'll be able to learn one or two things. So I believe that by watching people over time, and also by the grace and the leading of God, you can actually choose the right people and you'll be able to stick to those.
So I believe that the starting point is to be open. Oh, be open to relationship. And like you said, purpose driven relationships. And It's either you are giving or you are taking. Like it must be, something must be happening. So you have to be conscious of what are you giving, what are you taking. But I believe that relationship just happened like you met at church or you were in school together, you grew up together, or you meet some new people. That is how relationships happen. But when you are, because you are open to it, you are able to like groom the relationship. For example, like you say, visit. Now, by the time you visit people's homes, you learn a lot from them, especially in marriage. Like for us, we like to visit our friends, we like to visit people. Like anywhere we are traveling to, if we know someone there, we just like dwell with them, because whether we like it or not, either for us or for our kids, they are going to pick something. Now, it doesn't mean that every time it is 100% positive. There might be things that we don't do and those people do. Because sometimes like we'll travel and our kids will be like, why do we have strict rules? For example, you don't watch TV until weekends. In some other families, like the kids watch TV every day, like they have that freedom. And so sometimes they'll be like, but in so's house, they could watch TV. So why don't we watch TV until weekend? And we'll just like, well, in so's house, the child is doing the dishes. Why don't you do dishes until we ask you to do it? Stuff like that. So of course, it is not every time that everything is positive, but it's just a real world exposure, because you're also learning things, like even sometimes things that you don't know that you exhibit. It is through those people that you are going to see it. Um, like I'm trying to think of examples here to make them real, but maybe like make up examples or stuff like that. But there are things that it is others okay, let me give this example. I'm just creating a scenario here now. Nothing like that actually happened, but I'm trying to paint a scenario. So I'm a reasoning person. I love talking things out. I don't like it when you just say you don't do that. I want to know the reason why. Like, is it because it's wrong or your own personal perception or you don't like it? It's not just that you just give me a you don't do it rule. But for some other people, like maybe we visit a friend and the husband is like, you don't. And the wife did not ask any question. Now, for me, that makes me look like, is it wrong that I ask questions? Like, those are just things that will challenge the way that I do things. And I might look at it and be like, like, is there something that I need to adjust, or is there something that is not reasonable in what I'm doing, or stuff like that? And that can even lead to a conversation that I'm going to have with my spouse. So I think associating with others, going out with others is always very helpful. And as we have, like you said, we have people, like not everybody is going to occupy the same space. So
Yeah.
for example, some people are just maybe I should call them like standard procedure friends, like people who in their life you see standards that you like and that you will like to imbibe. Like they have rules around things, they have things spelled out, but it does not necessarily mean that that person is going to be like a professional example for me. Because if our friends, maybe the husband is a full-time pastor, the wife is a teacher, like I can't go to their house and expect that, oh, see, the husband is seated by four, like playing soccer with the kids, has all the time in the world. That is not going to work for us because we don't have that professional life. Our professional life is different. So we have friends that fill the professional space because we are in the same space that we have similar challenges that we can talk about. We have friends that we do prayer meetings with, pray for our children, pray for the challenges that we're having together. Like it, and does not, they don't necessarily translate into people
Who advises your
who
career
advises your career or
or
stuff like that. So
advises?
everybody has like a plus that you
You
like,
gravitate
yeah,
towards.
that you gravitate towards, and that is what you pursue with them. And you can possibly also, like, definitely, you will definitely influence them in some ways too, which will meet their own family need, which is not necessarily your own need because it is your own strength. So that is how I see it. But we should have relationships, we should have friends in our lives that if I'm confused about some things of my husband, we can raise it together and discuss it. We have friends that we do Bible study with, talk marriage,
Yeah.
talk like
Practical
practical, like my
situation.
husband said this. So see, imagine what he did. And we'll talk to one another and be like, no, that's not how you do it, or stuff like that. So, and those are different people. So I'm just saying that you have different friends in your life occupying different
That's
positions because of probably the strengths that they have, which will not be 360 degrees. So,
Wow, 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 wow. This is interesting. Wow. Guys, I hope you've been able to pick one or two things from that. And like Sister Bumi shared, I think actually for anybody to learn anything, you have to be open minded. Because as long as you keep thinking, as long as you are close minded, you are rigid, oh, it's just have to be this way, then you miss a lot. So, from the discussion today, I think one of the takeaways is for you to be able to make the wise choice, to be able to make the right choice of friends, of associates that will be beneficial to your marriage, be open minded. Find there are friends there are friends whose motive is completely different from your values, but at the same time, there are still friends like Brofola shared. There are professional friends, there are spiritual friends, there are different friendships with different benefits that can actually help your family grow, that can actually help you achieve your dreams, your goals as a family. So be open minded, be on the lookout, network, mingle with people, mingle with friends. You never can tell where you're going to even get someone that will be ready to mentor you. You never can even tell. And one more thing is to pray. Pray. God can actually lead you to someone, to people that can get you connected. God can lead you to mentors. God can lead you to family, spiritual, like families that have gone ahead of you, families that can share ideas with you, families that can connect you with the right set of people, the set of people that you actually need. Okay, enough of the gist, enough of the talks. Okay, over to our guest speakers today. As we bring this discussion to a close, we'll be having our takeaways. So I think we'll hear from Bro Fola first and then Sister Bumi. Something to take home with for our
so I want
followers.
to share as a take home. I'll draw it from Ephesians chapter 4, 12, 13, talking about gifts have been given to some men. Some are called to be teachers, apostles, evangelists, pastors, and prophets. For what? For the edification of the body of Christ, for the perfection of the saints. So if you want to live a perfect life, you need a mix of variant friends. Like people with different gifts, people with different character, people with different attributes, people with different strengths. God does not want us to be alone. God wants us to be around people, but different kind of people, not specific kind of people. Like, oh, I don't talk to this kind of person. I don't relate with this kind of person. No, you can learn from the young ones. You can learn from the elderly. You can learn from the believers. You can learn from the unbelievers. You can learn from people of other tribe. You can learn from people of other race. God has placed us among all these various people with different makeup so that we'll be able to pick one or two lessons and become perfect. So that is what I want to share. Be open to learning. Be open to advice. Be open to suggestion. Be open to making friends. Be open to learning new things.
Wow.
but my own takeaway is going to be in Proverbs. I'm going to paraphrase now that in times of trouble, a brother can be more than a friend. Oh, sorry, a
A
friend
friend
can be
can be more
more
than
than
a
a
brother.
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 So keep your friends. Like your brothers are there. Like you don't have a choice over that. But have a choice of friends who can be with you, who can stand with you whenever, wherever, or whatever. And that is going to be very helpful. Like a tree can never make a forest. You need others, you need friends, you need good friends.
Wow. Interesting. Somebody shout hallelujah. Wow, A lot to take home with from today's discussion. Thank you very much, Sai and Ma, for your time and for being available to join us on the platform today. And to all our viewers out there, I'm very sure you've gotten one or two things to take home with from the discussion today. It's still Say Matters with Roy. And on this note, we'll be drawing today's session to a close. Until we come your way again, stay blessed. And we'll see you in our next session. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Thank you very much, Sai and Ma. Ginsei Matters. Come back to Ginsei Matters on Ginsei Matters. It's Ginsei Matters. Yeah, it's still Ginsei Matters with Roy. It's still Ginsei Matters with Roy. Right now, it's Ginsei Matters. Come back to Ginsei Matters on Ginsei Matters. It's Ginsei Matters. Yeah, it's still Ginsei Matters with Roy. It's still Ginsei Matters with Roy.